All hail, King of the Losers!
We got Hadrian in red playing as the Chinese. We got Bees in blue again playing as the Goths. And now we're on Black Forest. So, honestly, I don't know why Hadrian picked the Chinese here. An Archer Civ, maybe you didn't think Bees would pick Goths twice in a row. I mean, that's a dirty trick, picking Goths in general. So, to do it twice in one match is a little bit spicy, but here we are. You know, a win is a win. Yeah, that's what we're thinking. But hey, what can we do? Who is king of the losers? Vote now that you know the civs. And I mean, the Chinese, they have tools. They have tools in this situation. There's only one choke point here, so this game could potentially go into the late Imperial Age, where the Goths will not fare as well. They are very strong timing in Castle Age, early Imperial, when the Huskarls come out and just can't be touched by any archers. But ultimately, the Goth player wants to transition into champions anyways, so they will be able to produce whatever they want much more quickly with their perfusion, with their anarchy. But they can be countered out by some strategies. For example, the Frankish throwing axeman. Melee damage at a distance is great. Based solely off of civs, I'd say Goths are favored. Yeah, I'd say so. But we'll see. We'll see how long this game goes. I think that really determines things. If Hadrian can get a solid archer rush and do damage early, then he has a chance. Or if he can stall the game out to, like, you know, like I was saying, late Imperial, to like gunpowder techs, to siege, etc., whatever. Maybe then, or if Bees like transitions away from Huskarls at that point, he's got a chance at that point as well. Those are the two timings I think Hadrian should be looking for. We'll see what happens though. Bees, great at protecting his economy, just with walls, with building defenses. And reacting to attacks on those walls. And here comes Hadrian with the scout and villager. He's going to try to wall this off. I love to see it.
Out of curiosity, are we on good old Black Forest?
We are on Black Forest today, Kevin. Yes,
yeah.
indeed. It was picked by Hadrian, having lost the last game. Said, let's play a Black Forest game. The Chinese, by the way, if you saw them start off with a lot more villagers, that's a civ bonus they get. I think they start with 7 villagers, but like minus, I want to say 100 food. I wasn't paying attention at the time, which is actually a very difficult start to overcome because you are going to have a lot more TC idle time unless you can really compensate by gathering a lot more food early. So one of the most advanced starting like Dark Age civs in the game, according to the wiki. But now we see things stabilizing a little bit. I think that's what has led to a 12-16 worker difference in favor of Bees right now. We got 3 on wood for Hadrian. We got 9 on food. Hadrian is also walling off the choke point as far forward as he can. And Bees doing something similar, but it's a much messier situation for him. I'm not sure what this decision making was that went into this. He probably couldn't path here, so he decided, I'm just going to go all the way across here. Large walls, again, don't seem to be a problem for this guy, so I'd like to see some more houses, some commitment to the defense there from Hadrian in this matchup in particular. But for now, I think he's dealing with some other things, that being they need to get more food in the bank. So we're gonna have a mill, probably into a boar. Good choice there. I like that. Actually, that's going back to the TC with that worker and these choppers here.
Just enough to kind of split the villagers, a few on berries and a few onto the boar. Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Also, the prediction has one predictor. That would be Aloysian with 703 channel points voting for Bees get degrees. Now, basically, if Bees wins, you get your points back. And if he loses, then you lose them. That's the entire thing here. So I'm kind of just holding your points hostage. As Bees trying to wall off this does encounter a little bit of snow leopard.
Yeah, that snow leopard. He might lose that villager. Nope, he's got enough villagers to come back and save it.
Okay, Hadrian's giving
No,
us.
he loses the villager.
Ouch.
Oh no, you hate to see it. He does get the snow leopard, but he loses the villager. That hurts.
Hadrian with the in-game
Yikes.
intel. He said Bees told him that he didn't know there was only one gap on Black Forest. So kind of the mirror of the last game in a lot of ways, where Hadrian had maybe a little less experience with the no berries situation on Mountain Ridge.
Both
He's
players
a
taking
little
advantage.
less knowledgeable of the Black Forest here.
And Hadrian setting up a. Okay, that's an interesting show.
Also, there is a hole here. You can walk through there. But we'll see if he notices that. Probably will, because this villager's on the far side of it, but
Yeah, but again, Hadrian doing a good job setting up a wall very early on. Usually, I think that's been one of the things that has been talked about is getting up a wall on that choke point in Black Forest so that.
it does get slept on more often
Yeah.
than you'd think
No, it's
in game.
it is a good call.
I think we have Hadrian moving out to take these boars right now. Does he have loom yet? Yes. Okay. So should not run into too many problems with those boars. But it's going to be a little bit of idle time for these workers setting that up. Here we go. We're getting there. Boars gather pretty quick, so it's probably worth it in the long run. Definitely showing he knows how the game is played on Black Forest. Beast's going for a little bit of a scout sheep. I love to highlight that whenever I see it.
Interesting choice.
And he's also, I think, now realizing what map he's on. Maybe. He's deciding maybe I shouldn't finish this wall. Actually, hang on, wait a minute.
No, because I mean that's just going to burn resources down, and that's what, and especially if you're losing villagers and behind, you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Going feudal age bees actually already. We'll probably see the same strategy from him again. Here comes the barracks in the back. Maybe he is still continuing this actually. I don't know. But barracks in the back into probably 3 man-at-arms and then trying to push forward if he can find the way towards his enemy in this confusing Black Forest pathing. Another sheep moving out. Moving out to the... It's a lumberjack sheep. Love that. And, well, he does have the scout on the far side, so I imagine he's now realized there's only one path. He's gone both ways and found nothing. But Hadrian now looking at feudal. Going to be a little bit behind on that, but in a game like Black Forest, a slower feudal age click-up time is actually not a bad idea, because it will lead to a faster castle age. You'll have more workers working earlier in the game, and you don't really need the techs that you get from feudal age that quickly, because you're walled off on your one choke point. So definitely not a bad thing to be going up slower. We got double bit X. We got... Actually, that's all the technologies being researched at the minute. Either player.
Yeah.
And actually, we got... Yeah, okay. 3 militia, 1 spearman. Where are they going? I am worried about this single palisade from Hadrian right now. Because a couple of militia could easily knock that down if he's not paying attention. He might just choose to fall back to defend this point.
Yeah, he's got enough space to work with, so it may not be too concerning for him right now. But again, if Bees is feeling aggressive, he could certainly take on that wall pretty easily.
Bees has decided, I'm going to finish this wall. I would look silly if I didn't finish it now.
Well,
it's too late.
Sometimes you just gotta commit to it, you know?
4 out there in the corner. Where are the relics this game? If it goes late, the relic spawn is a bit uneven on Black Forest. There being 5 relics. Usually 1 on that corner, 1 here.
Yeah. That is what...
And actually, Hadrian has 3 safe behind his walls right now.
Yeah, and if we're wanting a late game, that's what Hadrian's probably hoping for. If he's playing the Chinese and he wants that late game, those late game bonuses, he's going to want to start so out as long as he can.
Yeah, I think my game plan here as the Chinese player would just be to delay as much as humanly possible. Build this entire thing into walls. Play a real fat slob game. That's not an insult. That's a player name who's famous for playing Black Forest only. Follow T90 on YouTube, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Hadrian actually going for a choke point here with some wall for some buildings. Showing a lot of thought on where he's placing that stuff. And Bees is just keeping things locked down. If there's For example, if there was like a sneaky worker from the enemy that got back into a corner, hey, he's not getting bees get degrees. That villager is in timeout. We got a scout here. And we do have some more house walls coming down for Hadrian. Hopefully he can defend this for long enough.
Yeah, so Bees is starting to push in. He's going to try to get that wall
There's going
down.
to be a gap here if he's not careful.
Yeah,
Hadrian is paying attention, and he's got one hit on each of these, so it will not be passable. Probably a watchtower would be a good move from Hadrian here too.
He has to do. He has to get a watchtower up as soon as possible. If he doesn't, then it's going to be really bad.
Basically, your whole goal right now is just to be as annoying as you can as the red player. Yeah. Just whatever you can do to stop him from advancing there. But maybe putting too much faith in this house. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, right now, Hadrian isn't breaking out any more units, and he's putting a lot of faith in these wall houses to try to hold off as long as possible. And
actually, I love this choice from Beast. Oh, Hadrian is focusing on going Castle Age, by the way. I think that's the deal. Love this choice from Beast going archery range. He's going to be able to pick off any workers that are building over the walls, and Hadrian will just have to fall back further. He is pulling more villagers up here. He's taken all the boars. I think these guys also do have... There's a hole here. As we know, there's always a hole.
There's always a hole.
That might even be a 2-tile gap. Interesting.
Yeah,
Hadrian continuing to build houses here. Okay, so it's gonna cost him a little bit of wood to keep this up, but yeah, he can last for a long time. Oh, ooh.
These buildings, yeah, these homes are going down relatively fast. So I know he's trying to survive as long as possible, but he really needs to start thinking about getting either a watchtower down or get some more units out. Okay, so Archer does come out to try to pick out some of these units.
I love the Archer here. Goth Huskarl's not in play yet, but Bees actually is already blind countering with his own skirmishers.
Okay, so Beast is going to back off, probably considering it's not going to be worth it. Going to wait to build up some more units or get some defensive units.
I'm going to imagine he's pulling skirms forward now to try to kill these archers.
Yeah,
but it'll give Hadrian some breathing room.
Yeah, which is what he wanted. He wanted to be able to try and survive as long as possible, and he's going to be able to get to Castle Age. Now the question is, as soon as he gets to Castle, he's got to start moving into his game plan of getting all those getting those tech upgrades. He's got to get them as soon as possible. Yeah,
here's the stone wall.
Okay.
For Hadrian, so hopefully he can get that down in time.
Yeah.
And the Castle Age and the Siege Workshop. We might even try to see some clutch mangonel attempts here.
Yeah.
Chinese do well in that.
House is going down very fast. So
house is down. We're gonna need a picket fence here. Hit those tiles quick. Okay, they all have hits on him. Loses one worker, and it's safe.
They go up. The walls get up in time. Oh my goodness.
That was terrifying.
I don't believe it. Again,
loses one worker.
Hadrian coming in with a clutch play.
He saves it, and he's getting more houses behind. And Bees now, I think. What's he gonna move into now?
Yeah.
I think his choice right now is gonna have to be go Castle Age into Rams if he wants to continue the pressure. But what a hold! That was down to the wire, man.
Man, Hadrian coming in with a clutch play to stay in the game. This is going to buy him a lot of time because now Bees is going to have to back off, start building up more units, try to get some siege down.
But now that was a little bit scary, and Bees going to try to find another way through. But I think the worst is yet to come. If you're up against the Goths here, you're going to need more defenses. You're going to need a castle drop. Oh, that's a TC. Great TC spot with these two resources. But I think at least a castle here and some siege to protect from any kind of attack until you're ready to go. And honestly, I would be leaning gunpowder in Imperial if I was here. But also, I don't even know if that's the right choice. Like, I've never played this matchup before myself, so.
Yeah, but Hadrian, much better spot than he was before. He's got some breathing room now. He's going to be able to build out some of those resources because he is hurting He is hurting for food and gold, but again,
he's been focusing on the micro. 34-42 workers right now with the earlier age up, and probably he let some time slip when that craziness was going down.
He did a good job of just taking his time, getting those defenses up, building those houses, and coming in with that clutch wall at the end.
Doing pretty well with the idle TC time this game, actually. He's ahead of Bees at the minute, so good stuff there.
Yeah, and a few idle villagers for Bees I'm noticing as well, so that's not particularly, even though he's got more villagers, those idle villagers are not helping him out at all.
Oh, there it is. That's the button I'm looking for. So on the market, we got one hiding behind a house, couple on the farms. Pretty much the standard idle spots, but Bees, unfortunately for Hadrian, not dropping a lumber camp on his stone mine this time, is going to be able to get a castle up pretty quickly after reaching castle age here. And hopefully, I mean, Hadrian definitely knows about this now. He's probably just, you know, you look at it and it doesn't look like there's a hole, so maybe it'll psych out the enemy. And do we have any on stone for our red player? We don't. We do have a mangonel. At least one mangonel will be a powerful tool here. But this is a lot of skirms. Like, Hadrian is falling behind in the military count. Bees has been housed a few times, though. He's at 75 and locked.
Again, we have seen what just a big number of skirmishers can do. If there's enough of them, they can just shred through. They can shred through a lot of units.
They could probably shred through a mangonel. The range on this is 7. And range on the skirm is 4. Okay, so the skirmishers are definitely going to be taking some losses there if they try to take on a mango face-to-face, but there is a large number of them. So Hadrian going for those crossbowmen. Hopefully, I'm hoping we don't see too much more of a commitment to those. Well, I guess you could right now. You don't know that your enemy is going to go Huskarl, right? It's kind of an assumption. Up until you see him. Hadrian in the chat says, just give up, Bees. Oh, we actually have a little bit of a scouting sheep here, providing some intel on these two houses.
But nothing else, so he doesn't know. So he doesn't know what's behind that wall, so...
Yeah, he hasn't been back here for a while. Lost his scout. No, never mind. The scout.
Oh, that scout's still here.
He could be given some more intel. To
the question is, does Beast actually remember that scout? That's the big question. He could, if he does, he could just be leaving it there, not wanting to lose it.
Yeah.
But if he remembers it, then that scout could certainly come in handy.
There's some barracks for Hadrian. I don't know the extent of the Chinese infantry line, but going just infantry against infantry can work if you have the superior economy. Just need a lot of barracks to keep up with the production of the castles. No castle for Bees, at least not yet. He has 610 stone, so he's getting there. Got another mining camp on the stone for Hadrian, so definitely thinking about that as well, I think. No monastery yet, but it's not too late into that castle age, so may not be thinking that far forward.
The pace of the game has really slowed down. I mean, it's compared to that that push that Beast was trying to do a few minutes ago.
He hasn't really made any more units. Made a few more man-at-arms, longswordsmen now.
Castle is coming up from Bees forward castle. Not a bad position for that. So it's going to try to start getting some siege outs.
Yeah.
Start getting some of those special units out as well.
I'm gonna expect Huskarls. 40-16 mil. Yeah, good point. 44-19 actually. Okay, it's progressing, continuing to get a little worse for Hadrian on the military count.
Yeah, I mean Hadrian's got those walls up and those defenses, but
I'd like to see another mangonel maybe. I think he's just banking on clutch mangonel shots in the defense right now. But I mean, it kind of hinges on how quickly Hadrian can get that castle up. Hopefully he can get one up.
Yeah, he needs to get one up soon. Like a forward castle would be a really good defensible position as well. But we'll have to see what he does.
We'll have to see how Bees chooses to play this. The ball is kind of in his court. He's producing so many military, he keeps getting housed though, unfortunately. I'm sure he'll rectify that immediately. Yeah, here we go. There we go. No problem. And taking the fish too. Love it. With a little shore fish. With this TC, incredible. Going for that monastery with a little monk on the way to get those 2 relics on his side. Here's Hadrian with his monastery as well, and a 3rd TC, so maybe just leaning into the eco a little too heavily here. But at the same time, that's kind of what you need to do. As long as you can hold,
He does have some.
you need the better
out.
economy right now.
He does have some units coming out to try as a defense, but is going to have to start getting some more military out to respond to this.
I think it might have been a little late for Hadrian here on the west coast even. He says he legit forgot what Civ Bees was playing at some point throughout the game. I mean, you know, we got all the God mode vision we could ask for, so it's always on our minds, but we don't have to put in at least 20 actions per minute either, so. Here comes a little bit of a push from Bees.
Yeah,
not the whole army by any means.
No, but just I guess get some poke down, try to get those buildings out of the way. That's going to
Clearing
give him a lot
some
more room
houses.
to move. It's going to give him a lot more room to move in.
And actually, if this house goes down, Hadrian will be housed. Hadrian has clicked Imperial as well, so I'm loving this from him right now. The defense, I think we need more structures or more mangonels. But there goes a villager. The houses do go down. Hadrian at 79 out of 80. He's working on getting those houses back up, but it gave him a little bit of a bottleneck for a second. Do like the look of B's base. Now with the 3rd town center of his own. I think... No, this scout is not moved for the whole game. Okay. And actually the villager count has not really... Hadrian has not benefited from the 3 TC versus 2 TC. I think just in idle time he's not been able to keep up with those villager production requirements. But here comes that castle that I've been wanting for so long. And the stable, 2 stables now for him as well. I think honestly,
Castle, yeah.
the Goths kind of fall off the later this goes, so there's a chance. But also, specifically according to this game, like, that's a lot of military units comparatively. 2357, and just overall, Hadrian is at 80 versus 129 population. So, looking a little scary since we know both sides of the story. Cameron, look at this. Look at the screen real quick here.
I'm looking at the... What the heck?
I'm rewinding.
What?
And I'm pressing play. It looks like we have a bit of an archer crossbow delete. Hadrian's in the chat. I don't know if he wants to explain that or if he wants to just forget it ever happened. But just deleting some units there. Maybe he was so badly housed he decided he needed to clear some space.
I mean, okay. I mean,
it's not something you see every day.
I mean, I would rather him have just made more. I mean, he's got the wood and the villagers to make more houses. So I'm not sure what the decision making there was.
I mean, potentially that's just what you do when you remember that you were playing against Goths.
Okay, so
well, yeah, now he's making chicken noodle. So
I just needed the space and knew they wouldn't be useful.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I think that's.
I think I would have just gated here and run them at the enemy if that was the case.
That might have, yeah. But
that's also okay. I don't know.
He's not being pushed at the moment, so it's
very costly though.
It is. You hate to see it.
The Chukanu, by the way, not terrible against Goths. I don't know. I want to compare them to a regular archer, but we don't have any left. They will get countered by skirms still, but they fire 3 projectiles, 2 projectiles. So they're doing it. They're doing at least 1 damage per shot. Is what I'm trying to say. So 2 damage per volley.
He's trying to get a little poke in there, but again, just kind of testing things out, but not getting anything at all.
Hadrian going Cavalier. I'm I think Bees is just making sure. Okay, he sees the castle here too. Making sure things aren't getting out of hand over here. It's surprising that he has not pressured at all right now, but he's still happy he's not pop capped. Going Imperial. Getting Huskarls in the mix. Hadrian is going Cavalier. I don't know if Chinese have Paladin, but that would be a great choice into this Civ, as he's collected 1 out of 3 relics, and he's moving up for the other 2, I think, at this point.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the slow pace of the game, this is definitely in Hadrian's favor because it's allowing him to build up, get those upgrades, get those units that he needs. And, I mean, obviously, we have the God mode visions, so we're obviously seeing that it's in B's favor, but...
I mean, he has no spears, so if there are enough Cavalier to make a good push, that could be the play.
Now, so...
He's queuing a lot of Cavalier, Hadrian. I don't want to be too savage, Oz. I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it. I love Beast moving one guy down here just to see what's happening, and he probably will scout the Cavalier if he's
Bees
paying
is now
attention.
an Imperial, so I guess we could say he might start putting out some trebuchets. Is going to trying to poke these walls down. Yep,
this is turning into a trebuchet, and Hadrian focusing mostly on defending so far, at least. Looks like he has not gone for any trebs. We have a second castle going on for Bees. And all 3 relics in for our red player, though. As we have 23, 20, 23, 38, 30, 13. Very heavy on the gold in comparison for Hadrian, but he needs it. He needs it with these paladins. As long as he keeps them coming. Come on. Give me some more paladins. Okay, play Barding Armor is a good choice here. And we're going to have a push with the Treb. We'll see what Hadrian can do about this, but it might come down to just units versus units. And we do have champions on the field now. So we've seen basically no fighting until maxed out champion. Oh, no, they're just 2-handed swordsmen still. Okay.
Right,
I forgot what they look like.
Okay, so
Hadrian deletes walls, and he's moving out to snipe the Treb.
Yep, good. Probably a good call there. He's gonna.
Now he sees the full extent of his enemy, and I think it's just a unit count difference. He's gonna snipe the Trebs as much as he can.
He's got the first one. He should be able to get the second one as well.
It's very costly though. Yep. He's now crammed into a corner.
Yeah. Oh,
and
he's not
he turned. Hit the Treb. Hit the Treb. Hit the Treb.
He's not gonna get it. He's not gonna get it.
The unit cramming is like so much. Okay, there it goes. There it goes.
There it goes. He got it. Oh,
Castle survives for now. He's building as many Trebs as he can to counter this. Gonna need to wall this up again.
Yeah, he has to move. He's gotta move
as quickly as possible.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, the Onager is here.
The Onager missed.
Beast is gonna dive it.
Oh no!
Second Treb for Hadrian.
The trebuchet is gonna back up. Oh no! I think the siege weapon blocked the villagers from getting to that wall in time. Castle goes down.
There aren't enough villagers forward for Hadrian right now.
No. He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough to respond to this. Oh,
we have another Onager out, and Hadrian trying to do a house wall here could pull this off still. Could pull off the defense. Forward villager for bees goes down. Okay, and it looks like he's making scout cav second castle now for Hadrian, and he's probably gonna get this up. There's a lot of villagers working on it.
He's got enough villagers, and the units are streaming in constantly right now.
It looks like the micro is causing a lack of any production for Hadrian right now. That's going to be expensive.
No. He's got a few. Oh, those units are just coming in now.
He's working on some long swordsmen. He's also streaming in a few champion out now. He has the champion upgrade as well. So
yeah, but I think the castle is going to go up. He's got enough villagers on it.
I think there's a hole. Yeah, you could get through to it, but wait, could you? No. I think this is actually safe from this side. Incredibly, wow! What a castle placement, I gotta say.
Yeah, but a castle does go up. There's a hole there. There's a hole over there though for him to go through. But the castle does go up, and
Bees saw the paladins or the cavalier, and he moved into producing entirely pikemen
more
only.
These units are going to start streaming in now, and the infantry, the military count is definitely in Bees' favor.
Absolutely.
And again, the castle bought Hadrian some time, but those trebuchets are just going to continue to poke it down.
Yep, the castle in Imperial Age, very squishy with the trebs on the field.
Hadrian trying to snipe it out with those cab units, but unfortunately it's not enough, and that castle is going to go down.
We just have 100% halberdier now for bees.
Yeah, bees
and I guess you could switch into Chukanu, but you don't have any castles. You could switch into archers, but there's still like champions on the field, and champions hard unit to deal with.
Yeah, it's looking really bad for Hadrian right now. More units are streaming in from these. It's looking pretty bad.
It's just a slow crawl with these 4 trebs. He's just gonna push on in. I mean, I think Hadrian and Squeaky G could both commiserate a little bit here on the pain of the Bees trebs. But well played from Bees Get Degrees. He's still streaming units in exactly as you need to be when you're keeping the pressure on like this. Hadrian trying to get some barracks down. Trying to move into two-handed swordsman, I think. He's got more cavalier in the queue as well.
Trying to do whatever he can to stay in this game, trying to get some more buildings down, maybe try to get some units out to respond to this attack that Bees is putting on, but
he's just spamming. He's just spamming spears, man. As the building goes down.
And right now the more trebuchets are rolling in. Hadrian's trying to move the villagers back to the left side of the map and maybe try to get a second town center up, or nope, that's it.
He's called it right there.
Bees
Get Degrees with the spam for the win. 29 Cavalier for Hadrian, but not enough to hold. I still think that could have gone. Also, Hadrian with over 2k resources in the bank was just not able to outproduce his enemy. What a great spam execution from Bees. Good game. Good game. That's going to be Bees Get Degrees as the king of the losers for 2022. Quite a journey our friend Bees has been on this past 3 months. Coming in not really knowing too much about the game. He's able to take the losers bracket in the end with some timely coaching from his fellow Wisconsin gamers, I think. Really, it boils down to in a lot of ways.